Look at this land. Dry, silent, and still. Australia. But now, forget everything you think you know about it. Because this continent was once the stage for one of the strangest and most dangerous evolutionary experiments Earth has ever run. If you had stepped here tens of thousands of years ago, you wouldn't have entered a continent. You would have entered an isolated world. A world cut off from the rest of the planet for millions of years. There were no lions here, no wolves, no big cats fighting for dominance. And when competition disappears, evolution takes a very different path. In this long isolation, placental mammals never took control. Instead, marsupials, reptiles, and birds that would never survive elsewhere rose to the top of the food chain. The rule was simple: adapt or vanish. Across the plains and dry forests, a shadow moved across the land, a presence that felt more like a myth than a living creature. Megafauna, the largest lizard to ever walk the earth. But to 7 meters long, weighing close to 700 kilograms. This predator wasn't built to chase. It was built to dominate. Scientific evidence suggests it may have been venomous. One bite, one wound, and then time itself became the weapon. In prehistoric Australia, death was not always fast, but it was almost always certain. And Megafauna was not alone. Giant kangaroos once crossed these landscapes, standing nearly 3 meters tall. Massive, slow, and shaped for a world that rarely changed. And larger than all of them, Diprotodon, the biggest marsupial in Earth's history. A colossal animal with enormous energy needs and a mind unprepared for sudden change. These creatures survived for millions of years, not because they were unstoppable, but because they had no real enemies. But the planet was already shifting. Flightless birds, tall, heavy, and powerful, walked these plains. Genuineness was one of them. Today, burnt eggshells still lie buried in the soil, silent evidence that something new had entered the system. Around 65,000 years ago, humans arrived in Australia. Not with claws, not with fangs, but with fire. With language and with strategy. They reshaped the land, burned vegetation, redirected food sources, and hunted with precision. At the same time, the climate was becoming drier. And together, these pressures were too much. An ecosystem that had evolved in isolation for millions of years could not absorb such a sudden shock. The evolutionary experiment of Australia came to an end. Not with a single catastrophe, but with the slow disappearance of giants. The largest fell first. The slowest were left behind. Only those that were smaller, faster, more cautious, and more adaptable survived. Today, when you walk across Australia, you are walking on land that was once ruled by monsters. This continent is not defeated. It is warning us. A message from deep time, whispering that when evolution pushes too far and the world changes, even the most powerful creatures can disappear. And one final question remains. If nature ran this experiment once, what makes us believe it won't happen again?